This afternoon we're going to make a pulled pork bread bowl using a nice fresh loaf of bread. I'm using some pulled pork which Rick smoked earlier in the week, already prepared, and I'm going to use an onion, a mini block of Velveeta, some fresh mushrooms, and these have been washed, and a little bit of sweet Baby Ray's sweet and spicy sauce. Okay, so we have a great start here with the pulled pork already being smoked, and this was so delicious. There's just a little bit left over, so I thought I'd use it in this new recipe for a bread bowl. So we're going to start by cutting up the onions and start to caramelize them in the frying pan. Alright, I'm going to put a slight bit of olive oil in this pan just to get the onions going. And I got the pan heating up. This is the Copper Chef XL, one of my favorite pans. Put this onion, break it apart a little bit, and look at that cooking. Alright, while that's going, I'm going to take the onion. While that's warming up here, I'm going to take the mushrooms, and these have already been washed. Nice baby Bella mushrooms. I'm just going to slice them so that they can sit down into the bowl a little nicer as a flat rather than big round thing here. And we'll let them cook right alongside of those nice Vidalia onions. Now here I'm counting on the mushrooms for flavor here. These are going to make a nice brown juice when I add the pork. In the meantime, I'm going to take the bread bowl and open up a cavity here, kind of slanting the knife all the way around. I'm going to take off the lid. Now, the bread that's left in the bottom here, we're just going to squish that down because we want it to absorb the juices of all the meat and vegetables that we're cooking right now. I'm telling you, the pork that Rick cooked on the smoker with some rub on it, and oh my god, he marinated it first with a barbecue marinade, so the flavors in that are incredible. Alright, that's what we're going to use to put the filling in. Get one of these blocks of Velveeta cheese ready. Have you used these new blocks yet? They're really convenient for cooking. You can separate them without opening a whole block of Velveeta and letting it dry up and go to waste. So I'm just going to slice this in half so we can spread it around on top of the pulled pork. Slice it this way. See, that'll fit nicely on top. That's all ready. Alright. The onions are beginning to caramelize here, getting soft. They smell so good with also the aroma of the mushrooms. Everything's going good here. Alright, while that's also cooking some more, I'm going to add in the pork so that it starts to warm up as well. And I'll get the flavors of the onions and mushrooms involved with the pork too. And just a slight bit of the sweet Baby Ray's in here. Just a little bit. That will carry through the marinade that was used to start this pork. And the sweetness of the barbecue sauce will also help the onions to caramelize. It's all good. It's all good. Look at that. Now, just to provide a little more juice to be absorbed into the bread bowl, I'm going to add a little bit of water here, and we'll let that cook down a little bit. Very flavorful sauce, and that's what we'll enjoy while we're chewing on the bread bowl. Okay, I'm pretty satisfied with the way this looks right now. I'm going to turn the stovetop off. And again, press a little bit more into this bread bowl to get that ready. And then I'm going to pour the hot meat mixture right into the bread bowl. Right now, I'm going to add the cheese. Alright, we got the second one all set as well. A little meat and mushrooms and onions on top of the cheese. Press the lids on. And I'm just going to let them sit on the warm burner till the cheese melts. Just, I'd say about 5 minutes. We'll let that go. Alright, let's get ready to serve this. Nice and warm. Melty cheese. I'm going to figure out how to get this out of the pan. It's very hot on the bottom. Look at that. Nice. See the steam coming off of that. Alright, let's take a look at this. Take a peek inside. Look at that gooey cheese and onions. Delicious pulled pork. Wow. I think this is really awesome. Looks awesome. You might say, how do you go about eating this? I don't know. My answer would be with plenty of napkins. Well, first I would take the lid off. Then I would take a fork and start eating some of the delicious pulled pork. And then you gotta scoop up some of the bread with it so you get all the flavors at one time. Let me take a bite. Oh wow. Now, after you get a few bites, then you gotta start pulling the bread apart, because the bread is saturated with the delicious meat juices and vegetable juices. I just want to show you how the bread is absorbing all the flavors. Isn't that nice? Okay guys, if you have some leftover meat of some kind, pulled pork is a great option, but you could use this with leftover cheesesteak meat or whatever you happen to have for leftovers and make a nice whole new meal out of that. Okay, enjoy the idea. Hope you like my videos. Come back and watch some more. Thanks for watching.